After we got our girls, we had 3 kids from hard places, and our house was a little bit chaotic. There wasn't much peace in the home.
What we've been saying for over a year now is we can't parent him like we were parented. And that is such a huge mind shift. It's really hard to get out of that well-grooved rut and having to relearn that and being exhausted and stressed out and stuff. But you love him more than anything, so you do whatever it takes.
I just talked to a caregiver 2 days ago that has a 13-year-old with really extreme behaviors in the home, and she's been trying like crazy to get supports, and a lot of times people aren't calling her back, or they are, but she had somebody tell her, it is what it is, you can't do anything about it in terms of these behaviors and this trauma history and so forth. And to hear that in her voice, she was like, I just want to help her heal. And I was like, you know what, we can help you with that. It is what it is. We can help children heal. There is hope and healing for every child.
You know, it saved us. When you're talking on the phone, literally a year ago right now, I had a guy on the phone, and he helps place your child from a hard place. He helps place them in emotional support schools and wilderness programs and things. So literally removing your child from the home, taking that connection completely away. That's where we were at a year ago. At the Jefferson County Mental Health Crisis Center, police coming to our house, holes in the walls, windows broken. So a year ago was really scary. And then we met Carolyn and took the classes, and they gave us tools, and they just saved us.
Well, we have a lot of different prongs of service, which I love, because families can really choose which pieces they need. And so the way to access the program, we really want to remove as many barriers as possible. So you don't need a referral, you don't need any money, you don't need any of those pieces. You come to a TBRI class.
When she took the TBRI class, there were things that we tried that we had this immediate difference of like, oh my God, that was easy, you know? And then when I took it, we were able to help each other. The thing with TBRI is you just have more tools in your toolbox, and honestly, if you do them, it's a little bit of work at the front end when you're learning it. Once you do it, you just do it automatically. It's just what you just do. But you do a little bit of work, but the day is so much smoother, and your kids are just happier. And then what you see is you see them start to develop where before they had roadblocks that prevented that development. All of a sudden they're developing, and it's just the gratification is just through this world.
We have TBRI woven throughout all of our prongs of service, and so our coaching is really rooted in that modality as well, but we're not the experts on the family. We're hopping on the path, we're walking alongside them so that we can help them meet their own needs and empower them. And we really like to move from surviving to thriving. You know, we really love to see that. And so we've really tailored our coaching prong of service to have different levels of urgency. You know, how often, and the family decides, how often do you want us to come out? We realize the families that we serve are so busy. They have so many things going on. We don't want to just be one more professional in the way. We want to be able to TBRI them. We want to be able to see their preciousness, the caregiver's preciousness, the kids' preciousness, everybody's, and be able to really amplify their successes so that we can really help them get to that place of thriving and have that amazing trajectory.
It's a little nerve-wracking knowing people are coming into your home and they don't care. I feel like they've seen everything. They don't judge. They just show up. They literally bring you gifts when they show up. So they meet everybody at the level that they're at. So if your kids are refusing to participate, or if your spouse doesn't really want to do it, they're like, that's okay. They kind of just want to get a toe in the door to show you that there's hope.
Another piece of the support options that families can choose to participate in are support groups. And those happen, this program is available to families all over our state. So whether they live in the metro area or they live in a rural community, they can have access to these programs. What are those like? If a family says, hey, I'm curious about the support group, what's it like when they show up?
Super fun. I love we call them implementation and connection groups because it's about implementing TBRI and it's about connecting with other people. So we have some families that may not need the coaching prong of service and they're like, okay, I kind of feel like everything's going okay, but I am on an island. I am so alone. I feel like I'm the only person that's dealing with this. And so sometimes it's really the connection groups that they need. So the way that we've structured that is that the families get there around 5:30 or 6. We provide the meals, so they don't have to cook, which I don't know if any caregivers like me, but any meal somebody else provides is the best meal I've ever had. So we bring the meal, and then they all leave the family in a communal style and they can make those connections, and then we separate them and we have caregivers in one room and we have kids in another. So we have the whole family there, all different ages, and we run different curriculum based in TBRI principles and appropriate for the developmental age. But also, if we come with a curriculum and they're like, you know what, I have had such a hard week. This is the first week of school. I just really need somebody to love on me and I need to talk to somebody about this. Curriculum goes out the window. Curriculum doesn't matter. Curriculum is just what gives us a backbone, but at the end of the day, it's really about meeting the needs of the people that are coming to the groups.
It's a place that I can go to with no shame and no guilt and no, I'm not afraid of being vulnerable or being judged, and I can go in and I can be weak because all day, every day, from morning to night, I have to be strong for my kids. And I never have a time other than with the team of Raise the Future that I can be weak and then they lift me up. And honestly, I think that's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. And what it is, everybody goes, yep, I've had one of those too, It's like, okay. And so here's a suggestion of how you can tackle that. It's just great. The people are so wonderful and so helpful and so supportive. And that they understand.
And care.
And that's the biggest difference, is somebody actually cares.
And I also love that we have TBRI trained staff working with the kids as well, because for many of the families, this might be the break that they're gonna get for this month. And they want those 2 hours so much because that's so important to them. But they've had many experiences in the past where if they take a 2-hour break, they're paying for it with behaviors for the next 3 weeks. And because our caregivers or our staff that works with the children are TBRI trained, they keep those kids regulated. So those kids come back in the same shape that they were given. So they're not dealing with those big behaviors and the parents aren't feeling like, oh, is this worth it?
And maybe a little, their sensory needs have been met and maybe they're gonna have an easier bedtime.
They certainly seem to have their sensory needs met, yes.
Well, and you're reminding me that we also do our best to try to staff those kids portions of the groups with our rest and recharge providers. So that's another prong of service that we have. Rest and recharge is a service that we offer in the home up to 6 hours through a TBRI lens, caring for the children. Caregiver can take a nap, they can go to the grocery store, they can get a pedicure, it really is time off for them, but we are intentional about trying to staff those kids portions of the groups with our rest and recharge providers so that they can build that connection and that felt safety with the kids and the caregivers. Everything is centered around clients' best interest in our programming. Every single thing, even the professional consultation, right? Because most families we serve have more than one professional involved in their lives, between occupational therapist, speech therapist, individual therapist, family therapist, us, who knows? And I love being able to collaborate with professionals because we can speak the same language. Just like you just said, sometimes people aren't really aware of what are those sensory needs, what are those attachment needs, what are those skills we need to be working on. But when we can be on the same page, we can actually help families move forward.
For me, it was 4 days that changed the rest of my life.
Well, we can now go on vacations, we can go anywhere without being fearful that is somebody gonna have a meltdown, you know.
Yeah, you just deal with the problem and you move on.
Yeah, and it's just life is fun because you have the tools. Like, no matter what happens, we know how to deal with it, and so we can just go live life.
Make the call, for sure, or shoot the email out. It's worth the conversation with Raise the Future to find out if it's going to help your situation. They're extremely selfless and have vast knowledge on kids and families from hard places. And if you feel isolated and alone and like no one understands me, here's this group of educated folks. They're literally there just to help you have the skills to help your family and give each family member skills to help themselves and stay connected. And that's their whole purpose.